Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on this show, and I'm here to talk about some wrestling news. I haven't really covered any in about 4 or 5 days, so I wanted to cover some more. Well, let's get right into it. So the first thing I really wanted to get into was the arrest of Cash Wheeler yesterday, part of FTR. So apparently he was arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, but there's more of this story. This is the first bit of this I'm going to get into, the first story. Yeah, he was arrested, actually. Cash Wheeler, real name Daniel Wheeler, he was facing 1 count of aggravated assault with a firearm after being arrested on Friday morning by the Orlando Police Department. We'll talk about the interrogation. The Orlando Sentinel first reported the news. According to county records, following the arrest, Wheeler was booked in circuit court. A warrant for his arrest was filed on July 28th. After the incident happened on July 3rd, he pleaded not guilty to the charge via his attorney on August 3rd. The charge is considered a third-degree felony in Florida. He had a hearing, I think yesterday afternoon, where his attorney asked for the judge, which was granted, for Wheeler to be released on a $2,500 bond. His attorney noted this was not a domestic issue and did not know the people involved. The prosecutor mentioned Wheeler allegedly flashing a gun during a road rage incident. All of Wheeler's firearms will have to be turned over to the local sheriff's department until the case is over, and he's not allowed to have contact with those involved. So he's not allowed to have contact with those involved. He had to turn over his firearms. And people are saying, oh, he should be suspended, but you don't know what happened. You weren't in that car, and you weren't the person who allegedly had a gun flashed at him. So maybe he thought he feared for his life or something. Who knows? I don't know. But they're scheduled to defend their titles against the Young Bucks at the All In pay-per-view event on August 27th, and they're currently tag champs. It looks like they're gonna still be there, at least Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. AEW even made a statement. They said they're aware of the charge and they're closely gonna monitor the situation. Wheeler is fully cooperating with the authorities. So that's the first bit of the first report of him getting arrested. But there wasn't really many details on his arrest other than the mugshot he was charged with. There wasn't really any other details besides aggravated assault, apparently. So, in the interrogation video from the arrangement, I meant the arrangement. There was not a domestic issue. This was not a domestic issue, and he says he did not know the people involved. The stream seems pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't know. There's some people that act wild, like road raging. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the victim was the instigator in the situation. Maybe they instigated the little incident. I don't know. At least he didn't He didn't point the gun, but he flashed a gun. But I think he'll still be able to go to All In at Wembley. It's road rage. It can happen to anybody. But he will not be prohibited from traveling. His passport was not confiscated. So basically, for people wondering if he's going to be at All In, there's nothing legally preventing him from going, because he's not prohibited from traveling. I mean, maybe the country can decide not to let him in. But, I mean, I still think he'll be able to fly in there. But yeah, that's the latest with Cash Wheeler, so I guess we'll find out more if more were to become available as the days approach to All In, see if he's there. So Bruce Pritchard said to Something to Wrestle With podcast, he talked about Dark Side of the Ring, and he basically said he's never going to do Dark Side of the Ring again. He'll never participate in it again. He said, and quote, "I just can't watch those things. I think that they just dwell on negativity and lies and bullshit and hearsay, and they exploit that, and so much of it is based on you know, the rumor and Unido, and just complete 100% bullshit. The producers do their homework to the extent that satisfies them. When you dispute their homework and give them facts that don't support their story and their narrative, they choose to ignore it. And that is why I've not done anything since the first ones that I did for the first season. I will never do anything with them again because I do not like the way they present stories. Because they're only looking for negativity to exploit. And in my old age, I learned there's a lot more than negativity. Why not exploit some good positive messages and some good shit? You know, what it should be, the lies of the ring. Because a lot of what they present as fact are 100% bullshit, unsubstantiated. How do you say that word? I'm not part of the nerd community. Lies, and when given facts, they choose to ignore them. Oh! Same guy that works for the company that rewrites history to fit their narrative. Punk calling the kettle black. I mean, yeah, it's gonna dwell on negative. I mean, I don't like negativity, like the negative side of the business, but it's called Dark Side of the Ring. It's literally the point of the show. And Bruce Pritchard literally does the same fucking shit he accuses them of. Like, come on. So we had some big news for WWE WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, and already, and it is breaking, WWE's all-time gate record, 90,000 tickets have been sold for WWE WrestleMania 40, I believe, combined both nights. And it's breaking WWE's all-time gate record, 90,000 tickets already. And it's not even close to the pay-per-view. Like, that's just crazy. Like, WWE's just breaking all types of records every pay-per-view event. I mean, the WrestleMania tickets just went on sale. But the Philly, it's going to hold a lot of people. Combined both nights. It's just crazy. WWE's just breaking records left and right. It feels like. So WWE's advertising a gimmick match for Payback. So yeah, again to the article here. The first match for this year's WWE Payback has been set as promotion. Recently ran a commercial for it in international markets and on WWE main event. So WWE presents the Payback Premium Live event on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 at the PG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, PA. The bout will see Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in a steel cage match of the show. This is according to the commercial. This comes after Monday's Raw, where they worked a match that led to a double count after the two fought to the concessions. So, it was announced by WWE official Adam Pearce after the bout that they would have their next match take place inside a steel cage, but he didn't mention the date. They haven't officially announced on their social media or website, but he didn't mention the date, so I felt this could happen at Payback in a steel cage as a gimmick match. We'll see. So there's internal concern that the AEW backstage issues could get worse. And I don't know. I just don't know if most of the issues are with CM Punk. Like, all the stuff I'm seeing, like, most of the days I'm looking at wrestling news, it's mostly CM Punk. And Dave Meltzer's probably saying this because this is from Dave Meltzer. But most of the stuff's about CM Punk. I don't know if it's most of the locker room, but I hear most of it's like about CM Punk. So I don't know. Found some more news here. So Charlotte Flair, she wants to break her father's world title record. I'm definitely chasing 17. You mean being given 17 titles, not chasing. I mean, it's about as expected. I'll never get the hype of losing a title the most. Like, you win a title 17 times, but that means you're losing a lot, so. A few days ago, it was reported that Edge says his match with Sheamus on SmackDown is his last match on my current contract, and he says he'll wrestle the last match on his current WWE deal, which happened last night. I didn't review SmackDown, but I watched it. I was just too pissed after LA Knight lost to review it. You know, it made sense why he lost. I don't want to talk too much about that, but yeah. And then after the show went off, Edge just said it would be my last time wrestling in front of you all. He's talking about Toronto. So maybe it doesn't mean he's retiring just yet. He was just saying that it would be his last match in front of the Toronto crowd. It was his last match on the current contract. I don't think it's going to be his last match ever. I don't think he's going to leave WWE. People saying, oh, AEW. He's not going to fucking AEW. Just the environment, WWE is so much better than AEW right now. Why would he want to go into that locker room with just so much toxicity? So ESPN's president of content is leaving the door open for WWE TV rights deal. I don't know about this. SmackDown on ESPN would be crazy, man. ABC, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense for WWE, but not ABC, but that'd be crazy. ESPN, WWE. I mean, it's in the possibilities. Shelton Benjamin talked about the Hurt Business when basically what fell apart. He said when things fell apart, I don't think any of us were happy about it. Yeah, I remember the Hurt Business. I miss the Hurt Business, man, with MVP, Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. And when they got rid of the Hurt Business, I've always wanted them to come back. And I remember when they tried to tease maybe the Hurt Business was to come back, but there might be starting a new Hurt Business with the Street Profits of Bobby Lashley, which I like. So, yeah, so next thing we talk about, AEW. They received a significant money for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. Something they seen, it's basically a sponsorship match, but the match was completely terrible. That's why I didn't review AEW. I was like, I just didn't want to talk about AEW. I just had no interest. This shit was awful. Like, get your money, but WWE, I shouldn't WWE when they done The Miz and Damian Priest. With a bunch of with the zombies, and with Leatherface here, yeah, I'm shitting on AEW for it too. Yeah, this match was a massacre. This match was terrible. The Women's World Championship match is set for All In, Saraya versus Shida versus Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. Yes, Toni Storm and Shida are going to have to carry this match. Most likely, they're going to have to carry this shit. WWE Hall of Famer, Tammy Sytch, faces up to 25 years in prison for a DUI manslaughter case. Finally, actually getting arrested. That's Sunny, by the way. Good, finally, she gets arrested. Maybe prison will give her time to reflect. Maybe get better, I don't know. Fast X movies featuring John Cena is coming to Peacock soon. September 15th, I think. But yeah, that's it for the wrestling stuff. So until next time, Alkaline. Peace.